In this video, we're going to take a look at the actual incident report form. And so, just to recap, we can either create one up here from scratch, or we can open an existing one. And I'll just open an existing one here. On the left-hand side, you see this series of tabs. Each tab causes a form change in the lower pane. So we start off with the upper tab, which is the location characteristics. And that winds up being on all the tabs. As I click through here, you'll see that one doesn't change. But you see the bottom pane of this does change. And so by default also, that lower pane starts with this Responders tab. Let's start up here with the Location Characteristics section. It begins with the incident type. You'll recall from the previous video that we covered incident types. If for some reason the incident type was created incorrectly or you accidentally selected the wrong one, that's okay, because you can change it right here. And in order to do that, once again, this is a button. We're going to click that and we can change it. Just to show you an example, if this were a traffic citation rather than a criminal incident form, we could select that here. It doesn't change the form at this point, so we'll save it. We'll come back and open it again, and then it will change the form. Now, I don't want to do a traffic citation yet. We're going to do that in another video, so let's go back, and we'll just change it again here. So once again, save it, open it again, and there we go. If you don't happen to be doing a form change based on the category, then that's okay. You don't have to save that and reopen it. It will save. It just won't change the form, and so that's the only time that you really need to actually close the report out by saving it and then reopening it. So let's start back up here at the top again and work our way down. Next we have the report type. This is really for statistical purposes, and sometimes that's not really utilized that strongly. Next we have the report date, and then we have the occurred from and occurred through. This is the incident date fields. And so the report date is the date you're actually doing the report, as in right now. And then next we have the occurred from and through. Those are the incident dates. That's when the incident occurred. Sometimes incidents could have occurred years ago, and they're just being reported now. And so keep that in mind when you're searching for a report. And that advanced search, if you recall, you can search by report date or incident date. That's the difference. Next you have the officer, that's me, the shift, lighting and weather, and number of citations, whether there were weapons involved. You see that's grayed out because that's indicated in other sections of the report, and it gets filled in automatically if you selected weapons were involved. Then there's the cargo theft related checkbox. Cargo theft meaning something was stolen from freight, or like a truck, plane, boat, etc. Back up here at the top we have confidential. That makes the report visible only to supervisors and to the person who completed this report. Down here is the incident location information. It's important to note that this must be somewhere, at the very least, within your own state's jurisdiction. It is not where the arrest occurred. This is where the offense occurred. This location is validated by the FBI and by the state, and so criminal offenses cannot occur in different jurisdictions than your own. If this was an extradition, for example, in Tennessee, you cannot put Tennessee because it will not validate, because an offense must have occurred in your state in order for you to be completing this arrest. So moving on to that further, if this was an out-of-state arrest, the incident occurred wherever, and if it was a warrant, you don't know the original location, you can freeform type something like out-of-state extradition or pickup or something like that in that box. You don't have to have a full address, but you do have to have your own state in this box. Down here, the subdivisions are actually pulled from map data, and if it hadn't been filled out in your map data, it's not going to fill in automatically. Moving down, you have county. Let's pick your county. You have type. This is important for crime statistics and analytics. Then you have a district. This is important for your own personal agencies, crime statistics and analytics. Type being important for the national statistics, and district being important for your own agency's statistics. And then once again, beat area, same thing. This is just for your local jurisdiction's statistics. Latitude, longitude, if you happen to know those, you're welcome to fill them out. And you can add additional information, such as inside residence, back parking lot, or something like that. At the bottom of the form, we have some buttons. The import electronic ticket is used when e-citations are in effect. There's a print report button that prints the report. We'll be covering all these printouts in future videos. There's a print form button, which prints all of the data elements regardless of whether they were filled out. And then there's a submit for approval button. This is important. After the report has been completed and validated, you can submit it for supervisor approval. It should be noted that shift is important for the approval process, that you get this correct, because this is how supervisors find who they need to approve reports for. And so let's say I was the supervisor of the DUI speed grant shift. In order to find who I need to approve reports for, after they submit for approval, I'm going to be searching by this. So it's important that you do get the correct shift in there.